Hello everyone, this is Maruf. In this video, I'm going to show you how to upload inventory opening balance of items that are serialized and non-serialized and items that have batch numbers using Data Transfer Workbench. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to upload serialized and non-serialized items using DTW. So I'm going to go to inventory opening balance from inventory transactions. Yep. Okay, so the next data would be document number 9. The last one was document number 8, so I'm going to go ahead and close that, and I'm going to go to my templates. So I have already input some data into my templates. We are going to need 3 files. The first one is inventory opening balance, and these are the data that we are going to try to upload. The rest are not needed right now. So the document entry is the document number that we just saw in SAP Business One. So that's going to be our document entry number, and the document number, actually this is the one we just saw in SAP Business One, and document entry is the primary key that is mandatory and also has to be recorded in the template, so that it can also be uploaded to the table. Basically, this field is not uh, visible in SAP Business One, but this is the primary key, and the document number is the number that we see on the top right corner. We will also need a document date and a posting date, and we are going to need a price source. There are a number of valid values, and we are using the very last one. And the remark, you don't, this field is not mandatory, but I'm just gonna keep this value as it is. You can go ahead and delete this as well when you are testing it out. So that's all set. I'm going to go ahead and save it as a, let's see, I'm going to save it as a text file. Yes, okay, yes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that, and then we're going to need the opening balance lines file. Now you're going to have to make sure that you have added the items that you're going to use for inventory opening balance. So the first step before this is to add the items in item master data. So I already have these items. I have 2 items that are non-serialized, 2 items that are serialized on every transaction, and 2 items that are serialized on release only. So I have set their line numbers. Basically, the line number column starts from 0, just like the database table numbers and table index, sorry. And this line number is the one that will identify in the serialized item file which item that is we are referring to. So basically, this line number is for this particular table, this particular template, and this is a sort of a reference for the next file that we're going to see. So we also set a warehouse code and the bin entry. The bin entry is the let's say it's the code where we have the a specific bin location. So we want a bin location at entry number 82. Let me show you what that looks like. So if I go to SAP Business One and search for bin location list, I'm just gonna go ahead and see if this works. Okay. All right, so 09 is the warehouse code, and these are all the bin location that I have. So this is also a prerequisite before you try to upload before you try to upload serialized and non-serialized items with bin location. So you're gonna have to create a warehouse with bin location as well. I've created this previously, and yeah. So the let me go there one more time and show you which one I'm gonna use. So it says 82 82 will be 09F4S2L2. So this will be my bin location for all the items. That's gonna go in. So I'm gonna go back to my template. That's there. So opening balance, I'm going to add 2 of each item into the warehouse, which are priced at 1000 each, and the opening inventory account is 133020 from the chart of account. And that's pretty much all I will need right now. I'm gonna go ahead and save this and save it as a text file as well. Alright, so not gonna close this for now, because we have like a reference thing here which I'm going to need to explain to you. So I'm gonna go ahead and open inventory opening balance serial number file. So this is also pretty basic. We have the document entry number and the line number. The line number has no reference. It is for this specific file. So if you're wondering what this line number actually means, if I go back to SAP and open a document, let's just open inventory opening balance and see. So basically this is the line number that we're looking at. So it starts from 0 and the next one will be number 1, number 2, and so on. So that's the line num column for the table. And this document entry is the same as the previous one. The serial number, there are 2 things. So basically internal serial number is something that is mandatory. We can skip this, but this should be this data should be there. So you can keep both manufacturer serial number and internal serial number same for consistency. This will obviously depend on whichever item you have, whichever item that you want to upload. So for now we are keeping this same for demonstration purpose. We don't need any of this right now, but you can go ahead and set an expiry date, batch ID as well, some notes, well, whichever information you need for your business. I'm gonna go ahead and fill that up. We don't need this right now. What we need is the baseline number. So basically these items, the first thing is we have 2 of these items. So if we go back to the document lines file and we're talking about this one, so SNOET01 is at line number 3. So this is what I was talking about earlier about the reference. So this is at line number 3 and it has 2 items. So in the serialized file, each item will have its serial number, own serial number. So that's why the quantity is 1, the baseline number is 3, and similarly the quantity is 1 and say baseline number is 3 for the next serial number of the same item. So this goes very similar for the other items. So if you look at baseline number 5, which is this one, SNORO, this also has an opening balance of 2. So if we go back, for this we have 2. We have 2 rows for this particular item, SNOR1. So I'm pretty sure the confusion is all clear and it's not that difficult to understand how this thing works. I'm gonna go ahead and try to upload these files and see what happens. I'm gonna first okay, let me save this as a text file just to make sure everything goes right. And go ahead and close these files. I'm gonna open DTW import. This time we're gonna, previously we have done master data, we are gonna do transactional data now. Next, add new data. We're gonna go to inventory and then inventory transactions, inventory opening balance. Next, So this is a text file. This should be text file. So the first thing we're going to need is this um, inventory opening balance, and then we're going to need the lines file, and then we're going to need the, well, you have two options here: balance serial numbers and balance batch numbers. The first thing we're going to do is take the serial numbers and then click on next one more time. We're going to ignore if there's any error and if there's any success. So the first thing we're going to do is run simulation. All right, it seems to be there seems to be a successful import. Well, this is actually the simulation, so we're going to close that. Successful message. So we're going to go ahead and click next and then import. Click on finish. We're going to go to SAP, open inventory opening balance. See, the SAP shows the next entry number, document entry number, which is 10. So we'll probably have the data. Yeah, there you go. So this is the one which is uploaded. That's how you upload serialized and non-serialized items with bin location in the warehouse. Now what we're going to see is we're going to see how the batch number is very similar, except for one little difference, which I'm going to show you in just a bit. So let's go ahead and close that. So let's make sure that the next number, you know the next number, because you're going to need this for the document, as you can probably tell by now. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my folder and open this up. So this is very similar to the serial number activity. The only thing that we're going to do is change the document entry number to 10, because that's our next entry number. Make sure the date is all right. I'm using a trial version, so I'm going to make sure the trial version dates are there, and I'm going to leave this as they are, and I'm going to save this. This time let's just save this as a CSV file for test purposes, because we have been testing with text files all this time, so we're going to see how it works with CSV file. So I'm going to go ahead and save that, place it, okay, yes. I'll go ahead and close that and open the opening balance lines file this time. Make sure the document entries are correct. See, we have the same columns here, the line num and the line number and the item code and all that good stuff. So this time we're going to use warehouse code entry 8, and we're not going to need a bin entry because we're not uploading them to a bin location. We're just going to upload them to a warehouse. But if you want to do that, if you want to use bin entry, just go ahead and do that, because it's pretty much the same thing. The opening balance is there, the price is there, the opening inventory account number is there, so it's basically the same thing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save this as a CSV file as well. You can go ahead and test it out with text files if you want, but yeah. Okay, so let's not close that right now. I'm going to go ahead and open the batch number file. Now here's the difference. So basically for a serial number, every single item has a serial number, but for a batch number, you can have a batch of items and all of them will have the same batch number. In my previous file, if you remember, actually let me go ahead and just open that instead of this. Open the serial number file just to make sure that we're on the right track. So you see, every single serialized item has the quantity of 1, because no two items can have the same serial number, but a batch of items can have the same batch number. So we are using a batch of 20 items and 10 items, 15 and 5 all have the same, these 20 items have the same batch number. And if the item has a batch number as well as a serial number, again each of these 20 items have a separate serial number. So I hope I didn't make that too confusing and it's clear to you. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this as well, and oops, let me make sure if the so the document entry should be correctly set. One more time. Baseline numbers are 1 1 and 2 2. So if you remember the lines, they were at 1 and they were at 2. Okay, so I have actually divided this up into separate batches, so 20 and 10 for this one and 15 and 5 for this one. Right, so uh, let me go ahead and just close that and make sure I save this as a CSV file as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and open inventory, data transfer workbench one more time. Import transaction, same things, inventory, opening balance, next, and then this time we're going to change the file type to CSV. Make sure there are two comma separated, one is comma delimited, the other one is semicolon, so we have saved them in the comma delimited version. Make sure you get that correct and then add the files. So this one, and then the lines file, and this time the batch number file. Next, and let's run a simulation first. Okay, it seems like we have run into an error. Invalid value 8. So basically the warehouse code is not properly set, so we're gonna go ahead and check what's wrong. Okay, so the problem that we have ran into the error is because these batch numbers are already included in the warehouse, so we're gonna have to change the batch numbers. So let's say we have up to 4, so let's just go ahead and change the batch numbers here, 6 and 7 and 8, and make sure we save this and save it as a CSV file as well. Looks good. Go ahead and close that. Go back to DTW and let me try this one more time and see if we get this successfully this time. So opening balance, lines, and batch numbers, and then click next. Oops, we have run into the same error one more time. Okay, so what seems to be invalid value 8 warehouse code. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure we have this warehouse. Alright, so it looks like I ran into, there could be some issues with the warehouse number. So warehouse 8 probably has some sort of an error that I am unable to look for right now due to shortage of time. So what I did was I changed the warehouse number to number 9. Let me show you what that looked like. So yeah, this was warehouse 8. We were getting issues with this, so I changed it to 09. And since warehouse 9 is bin location enabled, so you need to have a bin location as well, so I added that as well. Now if you run into warehouse code related problems, you can do a little bit of assessment yourself. You can turn off your systems, you can turn off your application, and then turn them back on and try one more time. But since we have very limited time, just switch the warehouse number and added some bin location. So this way is also fine. I'm gonna go ahead and close this and go back to our DTW, try to import this one more time and see if this works. So make sure the files are CSV type and click on next. Hopefully this will work right now. So yeah, looks like we did not run into an error. I'm gonna go ahead and close that and then click on next and then import. Let's go to SAP and see if this actually worked. So inventory transactions, and inventory opening balance. Right, so this is the last record. This was our bin location. Let's see how much data we have there. Item count is 50 in addition to some previous data. But that's how you upload batch number items as well. So this turned out to be a pretty long video, but I hope everything is clear, and I hope you were able to upload inventory opening balance of serialized items and batch number items as well. So if this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and if there's anything else you want to see next, comment down below, and I'll see you on the next one.